Now, when you are in the Tall Tales contest, you can work yourself up to the district. That's as high as you can go. And if you win at the district, you will be known as the world's biggest liar. So we have with us this morning, doing an education on Tall Tales, the world's biggest liar, to tell you how to win, our own Shirley Lorraine.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Everyone ready to lie? Yeah. The first thing I always hear from people after what is a tall tale is, oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't tell a big story. I know better. Most of you are parents, some of you are grandparents. You are yarn spinners. Don't tell me you're not. Tall Tales is really very easy. Tall Tales is starting with something very plausible, something that could happen in your life, and then exaggerating and building until it becomes improbable. Now we can all do that, right? Sure. Let me give you an example. I went for a hot air balloon ride. Hot air ballooning is fun, it's beautiful, you soar across the land and see things from a different perspective. It was just me and the guide. They didn't trust me with the fire. The guide was shooting the flames up into the hot air balloon to make it rise higher. And I was just standing at the edge with my camera, having a good time taking all the pictures. Just then, I heard a big flapping noise right behind me. Something hit me on the back of the head, and my camera flew out of my hand. It was a pelican, the biggest pelican I had ever seen. This guy was humongous, and his beak was about this long. He had grabbed my camera right out of my hand and started to fly away. Well, it was a new camera, so my first reaction was to grab the cord that was hanging off of it. I grabbed that cord, and that pelican was so big, he lifted me right out of the hot air balloon, and we went sailing over the valley where we were sending our balloon. He went sailing off, and I just hung on for dear life. After a while, we sat down in a pile of rocks where his nest was. He had 3 little baby pelicans, 3 little chicks there. He settled in. He let me settle in because we're friends now. We've been flying together. And then he handed me the camera. Do you know all he wanted was for me to take pictures of his kids? As any good parent would. So I took some pictures of his kids. He nodded, because pelicans don't smile, you know. Who can tell? He nodded, and he handed me back the camera. I thought, all right, that's great, but how do I get out of here? I'm stuck up in the crags and the rocks. Just then, my hot air balloon started to drift by, and the tow rope was hanging down. So I just reached up and grabbed onto the tow rope and started pulling myself up because of my incredible upper strength. And I pulled myself right up and hurled myself over back into the basket. Whew, I still had my camera. And I stood up, brushed myself off a little bit, and the guide turned around and said, "Hey, buddy, you okay?" He didn't even know I'd been gone. I have some incredible photographs of 3 little pelican chicks now, and I don't know his address to get them back to him. Oh well, that's the story of my hot air balloon ride. That's how easy it is. Take something that could happen, blow it out of proportion. The hardest part I found is the ending, winding it up, giving it a little twist. A good surprise ending can make or break your tall tale. So don't be afraid of it. You're all yarn spinners. Come on, I've heard some of your speeches. You can do it. Enter the Tall Tales contest. The rules are in front of you. In case you have any questions, you can look on the Toastmasters International website for the full contest rules. And I encourage you, take a step outside your comfort zone and enter the Tall Tales contest. Mr. Toastmaster.